Hey everybody, it's Roland Millington from The Lowest Note, and I just wanted to say thanks again to everyone for all of the likes, the comments, the channel views. Has been awesome. Very, very happy to see that some of you have been able to use some of the things that I've been able to say. Just wanted to point out a few things. Today I'm wearing a different hat. Hopefully the hat haterade goes away. The other thing is that I received a message in my inbox. No, I'm not hearing impaired. These are actually in-ear monitors. And everything is done so that when I go direct into my board with my bass, I'll still be able to hear what exactly it is that I'm playing and what I'm saying at the same time and kind of be able to monitor levels. So that's what that's all about. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, I tell you what, it's kind of fun. It has to deal with scales and a little bit of music theory and how to kind of demystify some of that. So you're playing a particular scale. We'll say that you're playing F major, which is, you know, we'll start it. What you're going to want to do to know how you can play around with a few of those things is find an arpeggio. There are three that most musical forms will deal with as far as rock, pop, and whatnot. And those are because they're based on the tonic, the subdominant, and the dominant seventh. All that those are references to notes within the particular scale. For example, your tonic is going to be your F. Your subdominant is going to be your B flat, and your dominant seventh is going to be your C. Might help if I played that cleanly. So basically all that is a root 4/5. Tonic, subdominant, dominant seventh. So how do you find the arpeggios? Finding the arpeggios is actually really easy. You just have to remember shapes, specific shapes, and then where to find them. Now there's a couple of things that you'll need to know. An arpeggio, first off, all that is a group of notes that are separated by a third or more. So any chord, for example, is an arpeggio, but it's actually rung out. Arpeggios are individual notes. So finding the tonic, the subdominant, and the dominant seventh, what you have to do is know what those arpeggios will consist of. So you're going to start at your F, because that's your root, and you're going to go, okay, well, what's the next note up? Well, the next note up would be a G. So we're going to skip the G, and we're going to go to A. Okay, so now we've got the A. Well, then we're going to skip the next note up, which would be B, and go to C. So we've got the three notes of our arpeggio, which for the tonic is F, A, and C. To construct those, all you need is this little shape. A, C, F, A octave, C octave. Now you're going to note that in the tonic and the subdominant, there are two octaves. There is also a central pivot of the root note. So A, C, F, A octave, and C. It's real simple. Now here's a really cool part. That shape translates all over the fretboard. No matter what major key you're in, that's your tonic shape. And the way that you find it is simply your root is going to be dead in the center of it. So you're going to have the octaves below, and you're going to have them high with the F in the middle. So now let's talk about the subdominant. Subdominant's really actually kind of cool. What you're talking about with the subdominant is going to start on the B flat. Go to the D. You're going to hit your F as the root, and then you're going to hit your B flat again, and then your D octave. So it's just like a blues shape, really. Once again, you have your octaves of B flat and D with the F in the middle. Real easy. And again, That shape translates everywhere. As long as you know what your root is, then you're going to know exactly what your subdominant will be. So now we come to the dominant seventh. And the dominant seventh is just as easy as everything else, and finding your dominant seventh translates all over the neck. You'll remember that we had the F and the B flat and the C. So here we are, instead of starting with an F and rooted anywhere in there, there's no F in the dominant seventh, which is interesting. There's also only one octave, which is the C, the dominant seventh note, your fifth. So the shape is pretty similar, or simple. You have a C, you have an E, you have a G, you have a B flat, and you have another C, which you could play that up there as well, but I usually just try to stay in fifth position for this. And that's all that there is. That's your dominant seventh. Moves anywhere on the neck, specific to finding the fifth of the scale that you're in, and then starting on the fifth. Pretty simple. When we do our runs and changes, obviously most of the time for rock, for pop, for dance, and for metal, it's to cue the listener in that there's a change coming up in the song. You know, that's kind of the bassist's responsibility in any given band, is to direct the traffic, whether it's on the dance floor, whether it's in a mosh pit, whether it's how your toe is tapping, those kind of things. So this type of knowledge will actually help you to construct something that's interesting and can actually tie in really, really nicely with what a keyboard player is playing, the horn section, the guitar players, whatever. It gives you the ability to move the song where you need to do it, and at the same time create interesting, cool, fun licks. But knowing that you can create these patterns and these structures and you can come up with your own little licks just creates a larger stack of things you can draw from in your toolbox and makes you a much more interesting bass player to listen to. So listen, everybody, I certainly hope you found this to be entertaining, to be enlightening, to maybe help a little bit to dispel some of the voodoo behind music theory. There's really no voodoo to it. It's simply understanding a lot of terminology. And maybe this gets you started going in the right direction. I certainly hope that you take a moment and you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop me a comment, drop me an inbox suggestion, anything that you guys want to hear, or anything that maybe you're not quite sure of, anything you want covered, anything I can do to help. Be my pleasure and be very happy to do it. And in the meantime, you stay low.